it's going. Boy, and my voice isn't even ready. Hi. What the You can tell it's one of those days where it's just like I don't know what to talk about whatsoever. Um Clearly. Um but the whole reason I'm doing this is that I had this little thing that I wrote at work yesterday, knowing that I would be off today, and one of the things it says on it is vlog. Good luck. You can read that backwards. Um So here we are. I'm doing a vlog. It might be short because there are people gone from the house now, and they will inevitably walk in, probably within the next minute or so, which would be hilarious. It would also cut this vlog very short. Here's the pose. Here's the thumbnail. I don't know. It's funny because there were several ideas I guess I had for vlogs previously, and I just never did anything with them. Doing anything is a little tough right now because my mom is still on summer vacation, meaning I don't get a whole lot of alone time. I mean, it's not so bad. I just close my door, but you know, living with people is a thing. I guess I don't know. We'll talk about that. But it says bird update. That's funny. Um, so yeah, I like had a couple things that I want to talk about. Some of which are not particularly relevant anymore, which kind of sucks. Um, or I've forgotten them is probably the more accurate thing. But yeah, I mean, the obvious thing to talk about is that um, the thing. Wow, I'm good at sentences. You can tell I've done this. Um, I'm not. See, look, I'm not even this bad when I'm talking in my car. I should really just put my phone on when I'm in the car because that stuff gets good. I guess. Um, but yeah, I guess I can talk about why I don't have anything to talk about, and it's because Fire Emblem, basically, is what it is. Um, Fire Emblem Three Houses came out like 3 weeks ago. Three Houses, 3 weeks. I've played through one route of it, and I'm actually like planning to maybe do videos about it because I have a lot to talk about regarding that game, and it's Fire Emblem, so of course I do. Fire Emblem is the series that like really got me in like a creative spark way back in my formative years. It was a pivotal uh, experience for me, and I'll have to talk about that sometime too. I should really start writing these things down. I guess some of these I used to have like a list of things to talk about, and then I never got around to them, so I kind of forgot about them. But yeah, that would definitely be a good one to talk about. So Fire Emblem is very like near and dear to my heart, and I've had a very strange relationship with it throughout the series. Because some of them I've liked and some of them I've never finished. And the ones I've never finished aren't necessarily correlated to the ones that I actually like. That's not true because I don't like Shadow Dragon and I've finished that one. So, you know, so I know that the topic may be irrelevant and bore some people, but I'm going to broaden it out because I wanted to talk a little bit about like being engrossed in a video game. Because it's like a lot of times I'm just like bopping around looking for things to do, when I don't have something like to focus on. Because I don't focus on things very often, and it's impressive. Video games are one of the few things that actually hold my focus. Surprisingly enough, like it's weird to think that I've put 80 hours into this game over the past 2.5 weeks. Like there's not much else I put 80 hours in over the past 2 weeks other than work. um, and it's weird for something to hold my interest for 2 weeks. Actually, when I think about things in the grand scheme of things, like the way my brain works, it's like within a week I'm done. I'm done with something. Oh, I'm into Batman this week. Well, not now. you know. Unfortunately, that's kind of how it is. Like with my guitar that I bought, it was like, all right, it was cool for a week or two, and then, you know, things happened, and haven't really played it since, which sucks. So someone should tell me to play guitar or something. But yeah, so it's actually pretty impressive that I've been able to dedicate myself to one thing, you know, for that long. And it's kind of a good feeling when I get like addicted to a video game. I think, and it doesn't happen often. I think the only other time it's happened this year would be with like Minecraft. Um, I haven't bought that many games this year. I mean, Smash was last year, and that's the last major game that I bought. I've bought games. I've bought mostly like indie games or smaller games. Like before Fire Emblem, I was playing ukulele, and I put a bunch of hours into it. I quit immediately once I got to this one stage that seemed utterly ridiculous. Um, the fourth minigame, if anyone was curious. Um, and then I stopped, and it doesn't hold my interest from like a lore standpoint, a creative standpoint, or a story standpoint. Sorry, I thought someone coming in. Fire Emblem is a completely different beast with that. Fire Emblem absolutely stimulates the creative part of my brain, and makes me want to do things. My big series that I conceived of and wrote, Mage Boy, was started out as a Fire Emblem fan fiction, and Fire Emblem stories are great templates for that, because what you do is you take your friends, you sort them into the different classes that the game has to offer, and then you go to town. Like, it's easy, it's so easy. And it's like I've been wanting to do that with Three Houses too. So I think it's going to get me to draw something that I've always wanted to draw, and that's like the Runaway guys as three lords, and they each have like one of the weapons triangle. So I'm, you know, that's always nice, and that's one of the big reasons why Fire Emblem, and I guess RPGs in general, are able to hold my interest more, because they do have that like extra attention to story, you know, that like holds me, and it's like I gotta know it all. And Three Houses is insane with that, because there are three different stories, at least. There are at least three different stories, and they're all mostly fully fleshed out. Again, that's another video. That's spoilers. But yeah, I mean, it's good, and it's fun, and I'm still interested in it. And it's like, it's interesting because it comes to a point where you stop and you look around the wasteland that has been created in the wake of you, just sitting in the wake of me, and in my wake, just sitting here, playing it a lot. And I'm like, huh. um, and I'm like, huh, maybe I should stop playing this and get back to something else. But then I'm like, what else am I going to get back to? Like, it's a weird feeling. It's like, I feel oddly productive when I have something to look forward to. And it's probably sad that the thing I have to look forward to is a video game, but it's like, it's nice. It gives me some kind of purpose, It's like, I think it probably has to do with the fact that it is a simple and clear goal, and progress is such a thing that is easily measured within its confines. You know what I mean? Like, if you sit down and you play a video game for a couple hours, you're gonna make progress, right? You're gonna move forward. You're gonna move the story forward. You're gonna collect more things. You're gonna do more things, and it feels good. Like, it's satisfying, and it's designed that way. You know what I mean? That's why Mario isn't just one long level. It's segmented so that you feel like you're getting somewhere. You know what I mean? So it's like, it's a good feeling. It's as pedantic as this probably sounds. It feels nice to have purpose. You know what I mean? It's to come in and one of the great things about the modern world is that, the progress means something. It means you get to discover more of the story. And when you do that, there's this camaraderie. You get to hop on the internet and like look at all the memes now. And it's like, that's why sometimes I rush through games a little bit, because it's like, oh man, I got to see those sweet endgame memes, yo. And I feel like that's like easy to do with Three Houses, because like I'm over here talking about the blue lions, but these people over here are talking about golden deer, and it's like I want to understand those memes, right? So I gotta hurry up and play Golden Deer, but I also want to play the Black Eagles route because that's really interesting looking, you know. So it's kind of like this. It's kind of an interesting conundrum where it's like you got to rush through it, but you also have to like take your time and enjoy it because I do hate rushing through games. Sometimes it feels like doing that like really cheapens the effect, especially when like and Fire Emblem's a good example of this. It's like where it's written such that every chapter has like this crazy shit going on. And again, I have my criticisms of this writing style, but that's another video. Like I said, I have actually started a list about Fire Emblem topics that I want to discuss, and I don't know how I'm going to do that yet, but I would love to do it. But yeah, it's like it does feel like it's crammed in there sometimes. But then again, it's like I always think it's like it's interesting how games pace themselves like that because I feel like games used to be a little bit more of a slow burn. You compare something like Three Houses to something like the Blazing Blade. Blazing Blade's story is a very slow burn. You only get these big dramatic moments like every so often. Um, and I think that kind of makes them hit home a little bit more because sometimes you're just kind of moving along and moving from place to place. And I kind of like that. I do think it gives the story space to breathe. Um, but I guess the tellings of the telling modern tellings of Fire Emblem stories are more interested in throwing in them plot twists every other chapter because that's basically what happens in Three Houses, and I think it was pretty. Was it prevalent in Fates? I don't remember much about Fates, to be honest. Um, so, but yeah, it's like interesting because it's like I'm not doing all these other things. I'm not playing guitar. I'm not drawing or coloring right now, and it's like that seems like bad things. But I look back and I'm like, I wasn't doing those things anyway. So I might as well be playing video games. You know what I mean? Um, like, really. Um, I don't know. Because I really do have a tendency to, like, get mad at myself for not doing things. Like, I get really mad at myself. And I think that's one of the reasons why I get so, like, depressed. You know? Is because it's like when I don't have a clear goal, when I don't have something that's like me making progress, like a game, um, it's like I'm aimless. I'm aimless, and I don't feel like I'm like going anywhere. And it's hard to get myself to do stuff. I don't know why. Well, I kind of know why, but so it's like it does feel nice to have something. And then it's like oh, maybe you shouldn't spend so much time on your video games. And it's like, why not? Why not? What else are you doing? It's like I can guarantee that if I weren't doing this, I would be sitting in the same chair, turned a little bit to the left, and I would be finding random YouTube clips to watch, which is probably the most useless thing I could be doing. So it's like, I don't know. But and then there's part of me that just feels like it's a nice distraction. Like, oh hey, you know, I feel like I haven't worried about my character flaws in a little while. And then it's like something from reality comes in and is like, oh yeah, I am kind of lonely, aren't I? And then it's like, oh, well, not like I'm going to go out clubbing and make friends or anything. I don't know. Maybe this is stupid and getting, I don't know, dumb. But, yeah, I don't know. It's just like, it's a good feeling. And it's like, I love talking about video games and I love playing them. And I'm really glad that Fire Emblem has held my attention. Because, again, it doesn't happen that often. Like, I put over 100 hours into, like, Persona and Xenoblade 2, which is another game I could talk about for hours, and not necessarily for the best reasons. Um, but yeah, and it always feels nice. And it's like, I never know when to, like, start cutting my time, you know? And it's like, to me, it feels like it should be when I feel like I can start doing productive things. And if I can't guarantee that I'm going to be able to make myself do something, then why stop? you know, when I could just sort of like, I don't know, keep going and keep making progress. And I don't know. This is kind of a weird topic, but it's like it feels good, man. Because it's like sometimes I forget how much I love video games. Like they don't do the same things that they used to me. Like I used to get like I don't know. It's hard to quantify, but it's like you definitely play games differently as you move throughout your life, and certainly we react to them differently because now it's like I said, there's a whole community out there on social media that discusses them with you, and it's like there are some games I didn't know were bad until I heard them get talked about on the internet. So it's like it's interesting how the dynamic changes over time. Um, so I don't know where I was going with that, but it's like I don't react to them like I used to, where it was like boom, lots of creativity and lots of time sinks and all that stuff. Um, so it's definitely like a more adult thing where it's like I get into them time wise and progression wise, but I don't necessarily get into them just like I don't know, get totally immersed somehow. I don't. This is I'm doing real well with this topic if you couldn't tell. Um, so, but yeah, I mean I don't know. That's a topic. And that's where I've been for the past 2.5 weeks, and that's where I'll be for the next probably week. I feel like I'll probably spend another good week with Fire Emblem and like probably make it about over halfway through the Golden Deer story probably, and then I'll probably not make it to the Black Eagles right now, but at some point I'll definitely come back to the game. Um, but yeah, I don't know. I like it. I think my main point is that it's weird how it's like I feel like I'm doing something when I'm playing a game, and it's not, and I'm not. Like, you ever have that like where it's like things in your head are good and bad. Like, man, this makes me feel good, but maybe I shouldn't be doing it. But not doing it doesn't really mean anything. Like, I'm not hurting anybody, despite what the news says. Yeah, man, I'm gonna stop playing Fire Emblem, and then I'm gonna go be a sword fighting teacher. Video games cause things. Yeah, good. Yeah, you've done it. You have successfully become a political commentator. Good job. You did it. That's what video games are now. Man, what world do we live in? I don't know. That's the whole topic. Why don't I cut this off before I hit 20 minutes this time? That would be novel. The last two were 40 minutes, you crazy guy. So, I don't know. Hopefully, I'll come up with something better to talk about or vlog about soon. But for now, you know, this was dumb. This is dumb. You can't make any memes out of this vlog, dude. You can't even do that. Good's a vlog if you can't make any freaking memes out of it. Have yourself a lovely day, I guess.